Lisa Mateo on Stock Movers. Lisa, what do you have?
All right, so why don't we start with Merck, since you mentioned it. They pointed to the trade war between the U.S. and China. They say they expect to lose $200 million to already announced tariffs in 2025. And the thing is, that doesn't account for the possibility of imposing levies on pharmaceutical imports to the U.S., which could be on top of the existing tariff. So as you know, Merck has a big manufacturing presence in Europe, so that means it could face additional costs. The thing is, though, the results from the first quarter weren't bad. They beat estimates. First quarter sales, $15.5 billion, right? Yeah, but the shares have been up as much as 1%, I think because of that maybe, but the sales of its cancer drug Keytruda, that's been in the spotlight. That missed estimates, but it has newer treatment, and that's what it's banking on. That's going to help offset.
I don't see how the White House does anything but cave on this, because if you go into your drug cabinet in your bathroom, how much of it's made in America? Like next to nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at just at the revenue for Merck. It's literally split 50% U.S., 50% non-U.S.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's pretty representative of a lot of these big pharma companies. But boy, for a company like Merck to put that number out there.
VIX under 28, 27.86. Next one. What do you?
Okay, we'll go to Pepsi. I forgot, Paul. You Pepsi Coke. What were you?
I'm a Coke person, but it's not Die Hard. If you put a Pepsi in front of me, I'll be just as happy.
There you go. Okay, so Pepsi. Here's the thing. They talked about global trade uncertainty, right? Affecting demands, not just for its soft drink, but for the snacks, too, because you were mentioning that they
Fritos.
have the Fritos.
Huge Frito
exactly.
guy.
But they also have brands like Gatorade, Lipton, Quaker, like huge.
All the stuff you eat every day.
Gatorade, yeah.
When was the last time you had a Pepsi product?
It's been a very, very long time.
Decades.
But the other ones, though, I mean, the brands are the list goes on and on and on. But the CEO says they're expecting more volatility, right? They're preparing for rising supply chain costs. New tariffs are going to increase the cost of ingredients. So they lowered their full year profit outlook. They expect 2025 earnings per share about even with 2024. And that's compared to earlier when they predicted a growth in the mid to single digit percentage. But here's the thing. It's not just tariffs. Pepsi also dealing with the government efforts to eliminate artificial dyes in food. You remember talk about that.
Right.
Also, they're stopping the citizens from using the food vouchers to buy soda. So it's not just tariffs, but it's more that's affecting it. And that's why their shares are lower.
It's like the Lisa hour.
We do.
Next.
Okay, we got to go to airlines, right? American Airlines withdrawing its full year guidance. It says the unease about the economy is making it tough to predict how the year is going to play out. So it's a growing trend, right? Delta said consumer confidence is down. The parent of Frontier Airlines also pulled 2025 guidance. They say the trade war killing demand for travel. Southwest Airlines reined in its full growth forecast. They posted first quarter losses, as did Alaska Airlines. So you see how this is starting to affect the airlines.
Does anybody pay attention to this? I mean, where, what happened in 3 months? Well, from an economy that was just cruising along.
There was a fixation 30 years ago to leading and lagging indicators, and now we've got leading and lagging politics almost. I mean, we're looking at tweets by the microsecond. Yeah. And someone like Merck having to go into 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters out. The Stock Movers, Lisa Mateo, thank you so much for that. For more conversations like this, what a buoyant success out on YouTube for us. The Stock Movers, subscribe for 5-minute episodes, the biggest winners and losers out there. Of course, YouTube podcasts, of course, out on Apple and Spotify as well.